Next presenter is Lohana Churai, yeah, from Faculty of Economics and Business, State University of Malad. And she is going to talk about work-family conflict and psychological well-being of women migrant workers. And over to you, please. You can share your slides, Lohana.
Okay, Prof. Salia. Okay, test, test. Can you hear my voice, Prof?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear your voice here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and thank you for the time for me. And let me share my presentation. Oh, uh, I couldn't have access to share, please. Yes. Okay. Okay. Wait, wait a second. I just turn off my computer. It's been done. Okay, wait. Mhm. Sorry.
We didn't get your presentation yet.
Yeah. Um, can you see my presentation?
Yeah, but not in full screen. Now it is full screen. Okay.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you, Prof. Salia, and also uh, good afternoon, yeah, or good evening, or not yet, yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, especially Prof. Salia and also Prof. Hayakawa, Prof. Nakamura, uh, and all Prof. Imam, and also Prof. Budi, and many participants here, Prof. Salia from Master of Management and also Doctor of Management.
Thank you.
And we also invite Prof. Budi as the coordinator study program, Master of Management and also Doctoral degree of Management. And yes, as Professor Salia mentioned that I would like to present the findings. Actually it's a small research actually related with work family conflict and also psychological well-being of women migrant workers, especially Indonesian migrant workers. Actually, I would like you to play with me, but since let's try the one. Yeah. Would you please scan the barcode? If it is works, yeah. If it is not, then let's go to the next. Is it works
I
for you?
mentioned. Huh?
Yeah. We got one response. What is in your mind if I mention about migration and migrant workers abroad? Money, missing home, or leave home? Come on. Income. Okay. Money, skill. Okay. Homesick. Okay. Okay. So, experience. Okay. Moving overseas. Good. Okay. Important. Oh, nice. Okay. Money. Money here is the great. Yeah. I mean, the, what we call that, big word. So it's there are many people choose this, I think. Still money. Diversity, yes, okay. Living, okay. High currency exchange. Oh yeah, okay. What about problem in Malaysia lately with the gunshot? Yeah. Okay. Still money as the center of aid and responses. Okay. Okay. So we can see here that the reason why people choose to work abroad as a migrant worker is relatively related with the money. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I have many some more. Yeah. To be specific for women migrant workers, but I would like to jump to the next presentation. I think. Thank you for the participation. Yeah. Back to the presentation. In here, it means that the reason for going abroad is still related with the money. However, we know that what we call it then, going abroad for working or as a migrant worker is not only about money, but they also have some problems like that. Yeah. Okay. As you mentioned in your answer. Okay. So next, why I would like to do this study. First of all, as you mentioned before your answer, separation or going abroad will you will listen and you will feel probably missing your home, or you will face because it is just like what Professor Talia mentioned before, you need to integrate in 6 categories, something like that. And when you couldn't integrate, then there will be a conflict within you. And when it related with the family and working areas, we call it work-family conflict. Yeah. So based on the previous study, work-family conflict will come up. Yeah, if the role in your working area is not compatible with the role that you have to do in your family area. And people who conduct or have different background of culture or situation will facing more work-family conflict compared to the others who didn't have that. However, the work-family conflict research has focused almost exclusively on non-migrant population. So that's why probably it's a time, yeah. Since if I'm not mistaken, 2018, 19, the work family research starting to focus on migrant population. Since, as you know, that the world population is what Japan has is what we call then have a change. It's changed, yeah. And some countries need what we call then extra population on extra workers, yeah, from other countries to maintain their workforce, something like that. Okay, and Indonesia is one of the largest migrant worker sending countries in the world. In 2023, there will be around 9 million Indonesian migrant workers working in various countries. Just like Dr. Bessie mentioned before, that Indonesian government also continue to sending the migrant workers, yeah, to various countries. And you know what? Majority of them are women who are married and have children. So And majority of Indonesian migrant workers are female, and they are what we call them come or go abroad as a domestic migrant worker, not specific skill worker, as Professor Hayakawa mentioned previously. Okay, and as you know, said that migrant workers or working abroad will create greater job opportunities, yeah, through remittance, which is already mentioned by Professor Imam, and it is also contribute to Indonesian economy by approximately 15 trillion in 2022. However, not only the positive way, the positive side with money, with the remittance, but as you mentioned previously from your answer and based on the research, the empirical research findings previously, the migration is also come up with the negative aspect, which is related to group family conflict and also well-being, yeah, which arise due to migrant workers being separated from their families, long working hours, as Professor Saya mentioned also in his presentation, and also cultural differences. Okay, this is the data, yeah. 42.4% migrant workers in Asia are women. Just highlight the data, yeah. And this is the study in 2020 by Liao and Gan about the migration trajectories, yeah, between Filipino and also Indonesia, because both countries sending more women as their migrant workers. You can see here that in 15 years from the trajectory, we can see that Filipinos send more workers compared to Indonesia. Yeah, and here the age, yeah, the average age is also almost similar. But Filipinos send more older women, yeah. I mean longer probably, yeah, because it's longer, yeah. It's more than 1,200, yeah. In 15 years compared to Indonesia, it's almost half of that, yeah. And the average rate, the age is 42, was below 50, but what we call it that in Filipino is longer than Indonesia. And next is also still with the study, similar study. Filipino, in here, we can see that Indonesia and also Philippines has a similar what's that, destination, yeah, country, yeah. The popular one is Hong Kong, yeah, it's not Japan. It's Hong Kong, yeah. But probably it is into 2020, Prof. So probably if it is Professor Salia findings that in 2023, Indonesian proportion for CIT workers in Japan is increasing largely, become the second, yeah, proportion after Vietnam. Yeah, okay. So this is the four, what we call it, that popular destinations for Filipino and also Indonesia. First is Hong Kong, the second is Singapore, Malaysia, and also Taiwan. Probably Japan here, yeah, other, yeah. Okay, but since based on this actually data, then we focus the study more in that country. I mean the workers or Indonesian migrant workers in those countries. Okay, so what the purpose of this study? This study would like to investigating the work-family conflict facing by the Indonesian female domestic, specifically female domestic migrant workers, and their social support and also the well-being. Why? We also put social support since the decision for being migrant worker, especially for females, is supported by their family. So usually they prepare their what we call that support, yeah, probably with the children care and also the family support, something like that. Therefore, we just only have a simple hypothesis actually related with this, yeah, which is first hypothesis: work-family conflict will significantly influence the psychological well-being of the female domestic migrant workers. And not only that, we also hypothesize that because the social support, the existence of social support will help the migrant workers to minimize the effect of work-family conflict to psychological well-being. So that's why the interaction between social support and work-family conflict will minimize, yeah, the effect of work-family conflict to psychological well-being. We just hypothesize those hypotheses. Yeah. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, that this study focused on more Indonesian female domestic workers, which are working for popular destinations or most popular destination countries: Hong Kong, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Singapore. So not only that, we also focus on one biggest spending organization, or we call it PTTKI, yeah, PT Asa Jaya in Blitar, which already operates for almost 2 decades. Yeah. And this study also using, yeah, because of this with that independent study. So we use a cross-sectional data or one shot by applying survey, yeah, using survey helped by the PTTKI or standing organization. The instruments of variable consist of indicator of work-family conflict adopting from Hazlitt et al. In 2014, including 4 indicators: family to work conflict, work to family conflict, 2 types of work-family conflict: parental confidence and also coercive parenting, and psychological well-being, property, and Aslamawati in 2023 measures by self-acceptance, positive relation with others, autonomy, and environmental mastery. And we use purposes sampling technique. We choose migrant workers, female domestic migrant workers, which are already on site, working on site for at least 6 months. And they have to support the family, whether they married or unmarried, yeah, but they have to support the family, whether it's the parents, their siblings, or they have children to support. Yeah. And with the data analysis, we're using a descriptive and PLS. Yeah. Okay, what about the result? This is the descriptive result. From 4 destinations, we can see that the proportion, yeah, just highlight again, Hong Kong become the largest or the most popular probably, or destination, yeah, by Indonesian female domestic workers, with 30% of migrant workers spending by this standing organization working in Hong Kong. Singapore is the second with 10.92%. So we conduct the survey in 1 month. So we just try to capture the data. Yeah, of course it is because the time constraint. Yeah. So from 1 month we collect 119 respondents. Yeah. And they are working also in Malaysia, 11 point. Okay, Malaysia is the second, Singapore is the third. Ini salah ya, it is misplaced ya. And Taiwan in here is the most populous, not Hong Kong actually. 47 from the data, yeah, from the data we have, yeah. Okay, and also the age of the workers, the average is was that more than half of them are in between 25 and 30. So it's actually it's what we call it that as Indonesian people, yeah, I think it's it shows that is there, and I mean they have to go to be migrant workers, some Indonesian female domestic migrant workers, or it is actually better solution for them, yeah, in this range of age, yeah. Okay. And I think below 40, yeah, they almost of them are below 40, so it means that they still young, yeah. Of course, it is increasing the question, I think, yeah, why they choose this job. Probably we can explore later, yeah. And not only that, we also have data, the duration of working duration. Yeah, I think most of them, more than 66% of them answer that they are working for duration 1 to 3 years. Means they are beginners, yeah. Since you know the reality that they remigrate, yeah, they repeat again the migration after the contract is finished for usually 3 years, yeah. Okay, and most of them are already married, yeah, or widow, yeah. Okay, with children, yeah, and with 1, 2, 3 children. Okay, so that's why I think it's the separation from the family and also the children. Unfortunately, we are not questioning about the age of the children. That's, I think that's the lack here. Okay, next. This is we jump to the results here. We can see here that from the model or the output, you can see that the measurement and the outer model confirms that the instrument is valid and reliable. Yeah, and not only that, we can see that work-family conflict in here is influenced or significantly the psychological well-being. However, it is not in negative way. It's surprisingly, yeah, it is positive, yeah, positive. What we call that, increasing the psychological well-being. Yeah. Okay, and not only that, we can see that in here, probably I would like to go to the next with the with that, probably the what we call that, the measurement models, yeah, the path, yeah, the number of the path. Work-family conflict is significantly influence the psychological well-being of Indonesian female migrant domestic workers higher compared to social support. Yeah, influence the psychological well-being. Yes, yeah. However, the interaction between the work-family conflict and social support is not significantly impact the uh, psychological well-being. Again, in here, we can see that the role of social support in here, in this context, the Indonesian female domestic migrant workers not playing as the moderator variable, but independent variable. It means that what we call it then, we hypothesize in the beginning that the social support will eliminate the what's that, the negative effect of the work-family conflict, or increasing the what we call it then, the balance between the roles, yeah, as a worker and also as a mother, which will increase the psychological well-being of the migrant workers. Therefore, in here, we can summarize that work-family conflict and social support is a significant predictor for Indonesian female domestic migrant workers. And as I mentioned earlier, that work-family conflict is found. Yeah, I think we can explore more why work-family conflict on significantly influence the psychological well-being. Yeah, and it has more effect compared to social support. Probably since they already what we call it then have enough pressure in Indonesia that when they have a pressure from the work-family conflict as migrant workers, yeah, they can handle it well. Probably that's the what we call that clear is that answer to or yeah, to explain this phenomenon. Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, that social support play not as a moderating variable in this case, in this cross-sectional study, yeah. But it is the predictor of personal psychological well-being of migrant workers. I think because the social support playing an important role, yeah, since I think it's related with the culture, yeah, since Indonesian culture is collectivism is high, so they need friends, they need support from others to maintain their psychological well-being. Yeah. Therefore, from this finding of the study, we know that it is important to take account or to explore more about work-family conflict and social support in what we call that, if we want what we call that, if we want to study about the migrant workers, since I think the phenomena is a bit different compared to non-migrant workers probably, yeah, or especially in here is female domestic migrant workers, yeah, Indonesian female domestic migrant workers. I saw that in Japan probably in migrant workers playing or work as not as the domestic migrant workers, I think, but there are two types of working area: TIT, technical medical internship training. Yeah. So they are not in what's that, domestic work, but they will work in agricultural, construction, or as a helper, something like that. Yeah, I think it's related with also with the what's that, the culture of Japanese people also, which I think the domestic is a private area which will not share by others, especially with the foreigners. Yeah, I think it is also good. Yeah, since when the uh, migrant workers become domestic migrant workers, usually they will have no specific working time, so they will work for longer time. Yeah, they mentioned about 15 more than 10 hours in a day. Yeah, okay. So that's why I think it is when we look at these phenomena or research in Japan, I think there will be different results will we get if we study the similar aspect or point of view, but different context probably, for example, in Japan. I think that's the all of my presentation. If you have a question, yeah, please feel free to.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rohana. So can we have one or two questions? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Professor Lohana, for your interesting lecture. Can you hear me?
Lohana, can you hear?
Yeah,
Okay.
trying hard to.
Right.
You,
Repeat it here. You can come here if you want. Speak to this.
Oh, thank you, Professor Lohana, for your interesting question, and I sorry for your interesting lecture. And I have a question. That basically, I think that female migrant worker in any industry may encounter may encounter work family conflict. So why did you choose female domestic worker to research? My question.
Okay. Thank you for your question. Yeah, I explained it earlier why I choose female domestic migrant workers as my focus of study, since the proportion of female migrant workers is increasing, especially in Asian migrant workers. That's the first. And the second, as I show you the data previously, that Indonesia and also Filipino are the two countries which send more female migrant workers in Asia compared to the others. That's why I would like to focus on the female migrant workers. Not only that, most of them, the migrant workers, female migrant workers, especially in domestic migrant workers that I studied, most of them already married and have children. That's why I think they will facing more, stress or tension related with the, their roles in the family, since they have to leave the family and for the children, the role as a mother, as mother, when they leave, what we call it then, as or for living, for supporting the family, something like that. That's why I think I think female the third reason is related with the the culture. Since Asian cultures stressing more domestic roles for female, yeah, uh, not for the male. Since the male is the breadwinner, however, nowadays, female also help the family to provide money or to support the family. Yeah, probably because of the job opportunity provided by the government, probably in Indonesia or in the Philippines or in Vietnam, is not what we call it then enough for them to live in. And most of them, I show you the data that these migrant workers have children more than one. They have 1 to 3 children. Can you imagine? So they have to work hard for what's that? Supporting this family. Yeah, to what we call it then Indonesia say it hidup layak probably, yeah. So what we call it then? Would you help me, Ibu Devi? Hidup layak it means yeah, living normal, yeah, above
Yes.
poverty line, probably, yeah. Okay. Oh, proper. Did that help me? Proper living, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, unfortunately, we have ran out of time. So let me move to the next presentation. And it is, thank you very much, Lohana, for your interesting presentation. And
You're welcome, Prof.
let's move to the next one. This is from Dr. Shinsuke Asakawa, the current working condition for foreign workers in Japan. Do so. What is it?
So thanks for introducing me, Professor Lia, and thank you for coming my presentation for all of them. And today, I'm Shinsuke Asakawa in Saga University, the Faculty of Economics. And today, I will talk about current working conditions for foreign workers in Japan. So we are planning to correct the survey about foreign workers in Japan. So before doing that, I will share the national survey of Japan about foreign workers in Japan. So the background is here, and as you know, Japan has many foreign workers from many countries. The number of foreign workers is 1.82 million as of last year. And the nationalities is China, Vietnam, and the Philippines. And the employment type is technical intern or specified skilled workers and students. Today, many students, foreign students, is coming to this presentation. So in Japan, there are many foreign students, and they work as part-timers in main jobs. And the major sector is manufacturing. The highest share of sectors which is hiring the foreign workers is manufacturing and hospitality and food service, caregiving, construction, agriculture. And last year we went to Indonesia and we contacted the future technical interns or future specified skilled workers, and they want to work in the sectors of hospitality and food service or caregiving, construction, agriculture. So that's and the survey is reflect the reality. And that's the survey summary. And next I will share the problem or current condition of Japanese working condition about foreign workers. So we face the labor shortage, as you know, because the number of newborn is decreasing in Japan. So we need more labor force. And the economic demand is severe in Japan because for about 30 years, the economic the growth rate of the economic growth rate is not increasing in Japan. So we need foreign workers to increase to gain economic growth. So Japan implement many policies about foreign to hire foreign workers. The first one is technical intern training program. That was started in 1993. That is my birth year. So over 30 years ago. And the newest one is specified skilled worker program. So in the program, we hope to hire more skilled foreign workers. So that is the background which our country is facing about foreign workers. Under the background, foreign workers and both foreign workers and employers face to challenges for foreign workers, challenge is working conditions are not good. For example, in many sectors, foreign workers is working long hours or low wage and unfair dismissals. And living condition is tough. For example, they face to language barriers, cultural differences, and difficulties in securing housing. And rights violations, harassment. So some, not many, but some a few a few managers make harassment or non-compliance with labor conditions. So that's not good. But those are not the problem only in Japan, I think. And the next one is challenges for employers. Also in our survey, we will collect this information. But many employers face to communication issues with foreign workers, and retention issues is arise in foreign workers. So these are challenges for workers and employers. So yes. So in this in the background so for long years Japan is the country which many Asian many workers who want to work and get high salary. But nowadays Japan is not chose here in Asian countries. So we need to know the key factors to get or to get foreign workers, and we have to provide the good working environment for them. So Japan implemented the survey to know that, and we also do the similar survey. So first, I share the national basic survey on foreign residents. In Japanese, 外国人雇用実態調査. And the conductor is the Immigrant Service Agency. And the purpose of this survey is to understand the circumstances and the challenges faced by foreign residents. And the background of the survey is, this is the fourth survey. Yes. And this survey aimed to identify difficulties foreign residents. And that focused on how institutions are accepting foreign residents as requests for support from their foreign members. So I will share you the summary today. So so this survey include consist two two surveys. The first one is summary survey for foreign residents. So this is overview. The survey objective is to understand challenges in daily social and professional lives of foreign residents, and the key policy relevance is a roadmap for a harmonious society with foreign nationals. And the target is, so this survey was delivered to 20,000 individuals, but the response rate is 31.4%. So in Japan, many national survey can get over 50% response rate. So it's not high, but it's not low. Quite low. It's not quite low. So 31% foreign residents answered this survey. And languages. So this survey has many languages. So they can, foreign residents can answer their mother language or their good language. So so I will share the summary. So in Japan, the nationality of foreign workers is China and Vietnam and Philippines is top 3, and Indonesia is sixth place. And the age is younger. The top is 20 and 20 to 29 and 30 to 39. So 20 to 32. So 6%, 60% of foreign workers is 20 to 32 years old. And so most respondents or most foreign workers is permanent residents. So 28%. And the next one is engineer specialists in humanities and international services. So that is, I think that is professional worker. And the next one is technical intern, right? And length is two polar. Length has total length of residents has two polar. Most foreign workers, foreign residents has lived from 3 to 10 years, but Japan one is 10 to 20 years, very longer. I guess Professor Faria lives in Japan, in second category, 2 to 20 years. And the next one is and the sex ratio is the same. And the next one is if a foreign resident has the program, so who, so by whom is consulted, and most foreign residents consulted family members or friends. And the second one is the Japanese friends their Japanese friend. And next one is foreign workers' family can solve their problems with family members or institutions. Yes, but they want more support from specialists, and they feel loneliness in their institution or workplace. That's not good. Yes, and to know further about the problem which foreign workers face, I do the text analysis by using the free comments of foreign workers, of the respondents. So I do sentiment analysis by using Google Natural Language API. And sentiments are calculated from -1 to +1. Yeah, -1 means most negative, and +1 means most positive. We can get sentiment and the magnitude of the sentiment. So in common, the sentiment magnitude. If the sentiment magnitude is more than 0.25, 0.25, the sentiment is strong. So I calculate. This is the example. So I calculate. For example, my family enjoys it, but I am stressed. So sentiment score is negative and magnitude is 0.3. And I'm happy and have no problems. So sentiment score is quite high. And the magnitude is also high. And this table is the result of sentiment score, sentiment magnitude. The positive top 5 is, in fact, many Japanese people are kind to me. It's top. And the negative one is, I'm also afraid that the lack of such knowledge has forced, blah, blah, blah. And that is a histogram of the sentiment score. Before calculating this, I guess the negative score is higher than positive score, but 0 is top. But and the negative is high, but positive is also high. 33%. So foreign residents feel positive sentiment. Positive. So not all foreign workers has to severe labor condition or severe daily life. But I restricted the sample which sentiment magnitude is higher than 0.25. So the negative is negative scores is twice the positive one. Yeah, so so high magnitude answer or free comments is negative. Negative. So next one is institution survey. So this national survey also delivered for institution or employee. So survey objective is identify areas of improvement for institution. Key policy relevance is roadmap for that's for labor survey. And the target is 1,000 survey. And the response rate is 56. So that is good response rate. And half of institutions are education, learning support, or manufacturing. So in worker survey, education, learning support is not high, but the institution survey, education, learning support is high. And the organization category is operation is 42%, and the education institution is 34%. The 49, about half institution accept engineer, specialists, blah blah blah. And and the 31 institution accept technical intern, trained student, permanent residents, CSW. And regardless of institution type, foreign residents need consultation about work. And difficulties, about difficulties. The difficulties in helping foreign members is foreign member lacks knowledge about Japanese system or difficult to communicate accurately due to language barriers, or difficult to identify the problem due to cultural or value differences is top 3. And institutions make many actions for foreign workers. For example, use available system or personnel within the establishment, or use or refer the foreign members to service that provide information necessary for living in Japan. And the institutions consider the foreign knowledge or abilities are not enough. Some knowledge or abilities have support needs gap between residents and institutions. So professional support staff needs for foreigners. So so institutions cannot fully support foreigners. So professional support staff is needed. Yes. So, and they need financial support from government to train their staff to professional support for foreigners. So that is main problem in Japanese institutions. Yeah, no support staff, not enough support staffs for foreign workers. Yeah, and I do the similar text analysis as in the workers survey. Yeah, and yeah, this is the table of the result. But yeah, I don't have enough time. Yeah, so yeah, I will skip this slide. And yeah, this is the histogram of sentiment analysis. And yeah, yeah, unlike the worker survey, negative, the ratio of negative is high, and the positive one is low. Yeah, so many institutions have problems about hiring foreign workers. And yeah, high magnitude sentiment score is the similar, shows us similar results. Yeah, so yeah, that is my last slide. Yeah, and the summary of this presentation. From the national survey, we can understand, or we conclude we need language support for foreign workers, and yeah, we have to expand access to multilingual consultation services, focusing on the most common languages. And we have to promote Japanese language education to different level on the residency durations. Yeah. And yeah, and for employment and legal guidance is needed. And we have to provide more accessible information on tax or other information. Yeah, and yeah, cultural and emotional well-being is also important. And yeah, address isolation. Yeah, it's not good. So, and many foreign workers consult their program, not only about but in workplace, yeah, but also their daily life, yeah, with their family members. Yeah, so yeah, so they, but if you have a family member, you can solve your problem, but yeah, not all foreign workers have family or family members. So we have to provide or expand the counseling services with expertise in mental health or cross-cultural communication. So, and many institutions, which is hiring foreign workers, have the same, same thoughts. Yeah, and consultation success, important. So, not only in face-to-face consultation service. After the pandemic, we become good at using online meeting service. This is today's online international seminar. So online consultation service is good. So in rural area, not the city, urban area, there like Saga, not many people can speak English or foreign languages. So if online consultation service started, many people who live in rural area can access this service. And the family. We need support for families with education and child care services. As I heard, in Saga University, so there are many students there are many students who have child or who have child, and they use nursery service near this university. So if child care services expand, and the nursery service near Saga University some teachers can speak English. So if child care services like Saga University increases, there are many, I think many foreign workers come to Japan. And the diversity and inclusion is very important thing. So that's all my presentation.
Thank you very much. Question?
Thank you for your lecture. And I have a question about the support system. I am an international student in Saga University, and I live in Saga. And I think in Saga, they have a good support system for international students and also for the children. But in my knowledge, there are the difference among prefecture in Japan. So do you have any recommendation to resolve the inequality of support systems among prefecture in Japan?
So I think so that's a good point, and I think the first level is local municipalities like Saga City, and the prefecture level is next one, and so I think in city level child care support service has to expand than current level. Yes.
Another different survey to have result about the differences about the inequality of system support policy or the system support among
but in rural area, yeah, in rural area, the decreasing number of workplace is severe problem. So I recommend the local municipalities in rural area has to expand or has to expand the fee for child care service or other service for foreign workers. That's all.
Thank you very much. はい、時間。ありがとうございます。Right. So we have come to the last presentation of today's agenda. It will be by Dr. Inayati Devpriti from Malan University.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Salia.
Yeah. Okay. Right. You are there. Right. Go ahead. So
Okay.
you can share your slides, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Okay. Yeah. We can
Yeah.
see.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But
Thank you.
make it full screen.
Okay.
Right. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me give it. Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. Salia. I'm Inayati from State University of Malang. Thank you for the opportunity for Prof. Salia and team. Today, I want to discuss with you about my presentation with the title Effects of Digitalization by Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises on Employment in Indonesia. Okay, concern about one of the economic development indicator, especially unemployment. Here, okay, we figure out. Here we figure out the graph of unemployment rate in Indonesia. We see that the unemployment rate became stable, constant relatively from 2017 up to 2019, approximately in 5%. And of course, due to the pandemic, 2020, it will jump to 7%. But then Indonesia can have a recovery about 3 years after COVID pandemic. And we get in 2023, the unemployment rate become 5%, say as well as 2019 before pandemic. And then we see that in 2024, the unemployment rate become 4.91%. This is the condition of unemployment rate in Indonesia, and trying decreasing unemployment. Of course, 5% is a relatively high unemployment rate, and the government of Indonesia try to decrease unemployment. Of course, they provide employment opportunities. Some opportunities are unemployed going to abroad to have a job. It is good if they have a good skill and education, of course. And if not, it will be rise up another problem. Some of them provide the employment opportunities provided by government from the micro, small, and medium enterprise in Indonesia. Due to especially for the low educated worker, due to micro and small enterprise in Indonesia utilize many low educated worker. Therefore, so micro, small, medium enterprise in Indonesia, MSME, in Indonesia plays an essential role in this case. There are 4 major destination countries for Indonesian migrant workers. And in this case, I mean another unemployment or another worker that cannot employ in Indonesia going to abroad to help us a migrant worker. To they didn't have a job, a decent job in Indonesia. You know that there are big four countries as destination for the migrant worker from Indonesia. It is Hong Kong, the second Malaysia, Taiwan, and Japan. Yeah. It is the data from January and up to March 2024, and up to December is like the DEFI presentation. Okay, MSME, micro, small, medium, micro, small, especially medium enterprise in Indonesia, capture the dominance expenditure. Yeah. As highest contribution on GDP in Indonesia comes from household consumption expenditure. So 50% of the GDP try to capture by MSME. Therefore, it is the number of worker of MSME. I mean micro enterprise, the number of worker of micro enterprise, and it is the number of worker of small enterprise. So it is become a significant role, of course, significant effect to decrease the unemployment rate. You see that 7,000 worker for micro enterprise and about 2 million. I mean 2 million workers that can going to micro small enterprise in Indonesia. Therefore, it is the MSE play an essential role in this case. So we try to identify due to the MSE play an essential role in labor employment, since they are mostly labor intensive, especially to those with a lower educational attainment. But due to the low educated people, lower educational attainment from the MSME worker, they have limitation in using digitalization tools. So it is maybe another problem that happen in MSME in this case. In some research from Buteo and Yuenzo, we see that the digitalization can trigger economic growth. Therefore, we want to identify the effect of digital adoption by MSME on labor employment in Indonesia. Due to the MSME can decrease the unemployment rate in Indonesia. Okay. And the emergence of digital technology utilization has altered people's way of life in many aspects due to the use of information technology, computing, communication, and connectivity. From the COVID pandemics, the MSME digital adoption become higher, and then we try to identify is it good or not for employment, especially in Indonesia, especially in East Java. We know that MSMEs carry out several forms of digital adoption in order to design the digital business strategies, to advance the technology use, and to create unique company values. Related to MSMEs' role in labor employment, in this case, labor intensive, especially to those with lower educational attainment, the study will explore correlation between digital adoption with employment in Indonesia. Though it may be a negative correlation, since digitalization can replace human labor. And in the other case, that the labor in MSME comes from the low educated. Okay, it is the materials and methods. We concern to the Java Island, as Java Island is the most populous and advanced in many aspects, especially in economy, technology, education, etc. Because the capital city, Indonesia, lies in Java Island. And in this study, we restrict our attention to East Java Province, Indonesia. Due to MSMEs in East Java Province become one of the biggest creditor of commercial banks loan recently. Therefore, choosing the East Java as our sample is representative to the condition of MSME in Indonesia. East Java Province is the second rank in terms of the number of SMEs in Indonesia, and for the first is Central Java Province. Okay, we survey 600 MSMEs in East Java Province using cluster stratified random sampling. We distribute the survey to the MSMEs owners with the age 17 years old or above. All respondents were asked about their business performance when they forced to use digitalization technology due to COVID pandemic. Because in Indonesia, when the COVID pandemic is the maybe the will be the will be the tricky situation that force MSME to use digitalization for the first time for some MSMEs. So we want to identify from what the kind of the situation before and during and post pandemic. Is it good or not for the employment or unemployment rate decreasing? So we cover three times of data. We cluster East Java Province by the criteria of regions are cities around Surabaya as capital city of East Java, and district around Surabaya as capital of East Java province, Madura Islands, Tapal Kuda area, which is bordered with Bali Strait, and Matraman area, which is bordered with Central Java Province. So in this case, we have about of 500 samples. Okay, it's our model. We employ the fixed effect model here. It is the dependent variable is employment, which class with employment which proxies as the number of worker in MSMEE, cluster G, and year T. Due to we have 3 periods of time. And digitalization as the index of digital adoption that we created by our index. And there are some control variables here, namely the characteristic of business actors, household characteristic of business owner, cluster characteristic and business cluster and business characteristic, and NG repression cluster of the study. It is the result of the study. You know the yeah. Okay, this is the result of the study. We have a form model here with the different control variable and some different independent variable. We see that digital adoption has a positive effect for employment rate. Means that better digital adoption by MSME can absorb the unemployment, can decrease the unemployment rate, or can increase the employment. Okay, here we see that it is positive, but the significance the significance is around 10% and 5%. And we want to see, we want to identify what the difference in rural and urban area. It is for the all population, all sample, I mean, and then it is for the rural sample. We see that for the rural sample, the digital adoption by MSME has a positive effect to the employment rate. So digital adoption, the better digital adoption for MSME will will get much will increase the employment rate in Indonesia, in East Java, I mean. Okay, and it is consistent for our four models here. We have four models, and then we try to identify what happened in a urban area. And if we see the urban area, you know that digital adoption has a positive, but it's not significant, but has no significant effect to employment rate. So it's different happen in rural and urban area. So we have some conclusion here, and there are two implications from our finding. For the first conclusion, we know that the use of digital technology become popular among MSME because it enables them to run their business. We have this result from the survey and interview to the business owner. And there is a positive correlation between digital adoption and MSME's employment in rural area, while it doesn't show alike for those in urban area. So it is the other it is yeah, different result from rural and urban area. So there are two implications here. First implication, digital adoption will help MSMEs employment in rural area that has significant gap in digital adoption than in urban area. To make it more operational, rural MSMEs would need appropriate guidance on how to optimize digital technology into practice in their business activities given the limited infrastructures and lower digital knowledge of the people in rural areas. So it is the first implication. And for the second implication, MSMEs in urban area no longer depend on the use of digital technology to employ labor for their activities. So it is our finding related to employment rate in Indonesia and how the MSME can support to decrease the unemployment rate in East Java especially. Thank you for your attention. That's all my presentation.
Thank you very much,
If
Simia.
yeah, welcome, Prof.
And
Salia.
yeah, can we get some questions from the audience? Yeah. I think she cannot hear. Why don't you come here and talk to her?
Thank you so much. To say initiative. So I'm Tisan. So I have a question. Like as the small medium enterprise, they are a small company. So the capital, especially the financial, are small, and the digitalization is forced by the government to like, implement. So are there any support from the government like to those SME?
So the question is about whether there are any financial support or any support from the government to digitalize the SMEs.
Yeah, thank you for question. Good question. Yeah, is it true that the micro enterprise is a small enterprise and they only absorb they only have maybe just a limited amount of labor. So related to the digitalization adoption, due to the COVID pandemic, there are some support from the government, because the government aware about the limitation of MSME to enroll their business from due to the COVID pandemic. So there are some support like maybe the government give the MSME some handphones, yeah, to operate their business, and computers, and there are some like a donation, yeah, like grant, yeah, like grant from government. So it is the support of related to the digital adoption, and we try to identify it that the support from government has a effect to the employment. And another support from the government is actually the government aware about the limitation of worker in MSME related to the low educated worker over there, and actually it helps government to decrease the unemployment rate and also increase the economic growth, of course. So the support from government are related to the digital adoption from by the MSME is uh, like training, give training, and training related to the how to utilize the technology, and how the MSME can get more beneficial from the adoption technology. In other, there are rooms for labor employment due to the application of digital technology, and the support from the government is can we see that there are a village development index that higher after the COVID pandemic, when the government support many like devices, many support like grant, and give training to the business owner or to the workers of in MSME. That's the support government that that I know in East Java especially.
Right. Thank you very
Another
much.
question? Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. So, any other questions? Hi, どうぞ。どうぞ、先生。
Thanks for very interesting presentation. And I ask you one question. As your presentation, you have three periods, or pre-pandemic, under pandemic, and after pandemic. So I want to ask you, could you separate the effect of digitalization on employment rate, and I recommend you add interaction term between digitalization dummy and post COVID dummy. So because I guess the digitalization rate, the rate of digitalization is quite low because of pandemic. Yeah, so the coefficient is gets low. So I recommend to include the crosstown. So that's all my question and suggestion.
Thank you very much. It was the comment than a question. So you can think about it, Inayati,
The
later
interaction.
on. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Right.
thank you. It is, yeah, in the first model, yeah, we interact and we identify how the pandemic can has effect to the employment rate. So here we see for the all sample, we see that actually because due to pandemics, of course it is pandemic has a negative effect to the employment rate due to there is a limitation for social activities for to us in especially in Java and also yeah and it is a negative consistent significant and not for urban area due to urban area has yeah due to and the negative effect but not significant with the urban area. It is a good I mean it is a good recommendation from Dr. Asakawa to have interaction between pandemic, therefore we can identify deeply related to the effect of pandemic and post pandemic in this case. Thank you, Dr. Asakawa, for your recommendation.
Right. Thank you very much. And we have actually, in the original plan, we had a discussion time of about 15 minutes at the end of the seminar, but we have passed that time. But there is one person asking whether he can ask questions from Hayakawa Sensei. I think we should allow it. You can ask the question. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Konnichiwa. Saga Daigaku no minasan.
Sensei, you can come here and answer the question. Go ahead. You can ask the question.
Okay. I would like to deliver my questions both in English and Japanese, so it will be easier to be answered. I would like to know the longer term of the labor policy in Japan, as Japan face the decrease of birth rate. So if Japan's birth rate keeps decreasing, Japan government needs solutions for the labor need in the long term. So is there any policy or maybe discussion regarding that issue? 回答へ安くなるよう、英語と日本語の両方で質問したいと思います。日本は出生率数の低下に直面していますが、日本の労働政策の長期的な展望を知りたいです。日本の出生率が下がり続けるなら、日本政府は長期的に労働力不足の解決策を必要としています。この問題に関して何か政策や議論はあるのでしょうか。ありがとうございます。
For your questions, your question is very important for Japanese government. The Japanese government want to increase the population and birth rate, and so protection for the women's workers right now, from protection from the dismissal because of pregnancy or childbirth or child care. But I don't know why this. And women can get child care leave for up to it used to be 1 year, but now to up to 2 years. So then the during the child care period, the employees cannot get accept salary, but from the government insurance, government provided some money, some subsidy, some money to the women for the child care. But and also the Women's Promotion Act, I already explained about that. The bigger company, the numbers of employer exceeded 100 persons should make the strategic plan to how to promote the female workers and the promotion of the female workers. And there is a difficulties. One is that the promotion for female workers, and also Japanese government want to increase the childbirth rate. So lots of women workers join the labor market, and also the childbirth during the maybe 20 years old, during from the 20 or 30 years old women, the female workers very busy period, because they have some position during the companies. So I'm sorry, but my explanation is very confusing, but I'm sorry. But the Japanese government much promoted and want to improve the situation of the female workers, but right now the birth rate the decreasing and decreasing. How we should do? Do you have any?
Yes.
And in the area of the developed countries in Asia, such as Korea and Japan, and right now China, the decreasing birth rate very severely. The Korea is maybe the disappeared in this in the world, and then Korea first, then Japan. Maybe after 1,000 years, there is no children, and disappear the native
Yes,
people.
that's what I read. That's why I asked, like,
policy
for workers, country like Japan, maybe they can like hire, or like now employing foreign workers, kind of like that. But until when? Because Japan needs to maintain their populations as well. As I find in many videos and many news, like there are many schools that closed, many empty house get sold in a very cheap price and all. So is there any, let's say, discussions for a longer term plan to maintain the Japanese populations? Obviously, Japanese, with the origin of Japanese, they don't want to get to the phase of extinctions, kind of like that. Is there any discussion in the level of government or university or something like that? That's what I want to know.
Your question and opinion, and we celebrate Professor Sakawa has a second Tuesday, so he contributed increase the Japanese birth rate. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much for the question and the answer. Unfortunately, we don't have time. It's almost 6 o'clock in Japan now. Today we had 4 presentations from Manan State University and 3 presentations from Saga University. All are important research, but with some further analysis, I'm sure they can be converted into good papers, journal articles, and I hope everybody will think of doing the research further and contribute to the literature. And from the faculty of, on behalf of the Faculty of Economics and Saga University, I would like to thank all the participants from Malan University participating online, and all the students coming here for this conference, and especially the presenters. Thank you very much for your contributions, and the audience for actively participating in the this seminar. So with this, I'm going to close this seminar, and hopefully we will meet again next year. I mean this year, in the next this year for another conference of similar nature. And thank you very much. Thank you very much all. So let me close this meeting. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Salia. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Professor Imam.
Thank you, everyone.
Devi, and
Domo arigatou
everybody.
gozaimashita.
Yeah, thank you.
Otsukaresama deshita.
Otsukaresama desu.
And thank you.
Hi, otsukaresama desu. Yeah, so atas kenai. So say.